Hey guys, just finished watching Legend of Tomorrow, Season 4, Episode 9. I'm not even going to attempt the title of this episode, but it's there in the video and in the title. But this episode, oh my god, this episode was terrible, utter dog crap, pretty much. It's just garbage, this episode. So it has a 8.9 on IMDb, and well, it's more like a 3 this episode out of 10. So we get. I mean, there's aspects in this episode alone is terrible. The aspect of this episode that kind of revolves around this season and moving the season storyline, that is kind of interesting. Those are the good parts, but just the stuff just for this episode is just utter garbage. We see Mona is fired for letting the werewolf out, and she's blamed for it and stuff. And the whole Mona storyline with the werewolf thing is just kind of so stupid. She's the worst character ever. She's so annoying, and it's just like, I don't care about that character. I don't care about Mona. We're not watching the Mona show. We're watching Legend of Tomorrow, so we want to follow the legends. We want them to be the main character for an episode, or maybe make Ava the main character for an episode, so she's directly connected to one of these characters, not, the side character's love interest is side character from the play. Like, it's just, why does this character Mona even exist? It's just so silly. So we see Mona, Gary is after to tell her that she's fired and stuff. And he gets, mind wiped a few times. That goes nowhere. That doesn't even get set up to go nowhere. It's like, he's just kind of has no memory of nothing. They don't ever try to figure anything out. They don't even, Ava sees him all kind of crazy and stuff because he's lost his memory. And he doesn't even remember anything yet. He still remembered. He got mind wiped multiple times, like probably 5 times or something like that. And he was able to figure his own way back to the time bureau. That doesn't make sense whatsoever. And a lot of things like that in this episode didn't make sense. And then, Zari is sent to kind of look into the time bureau to make sure to see if Mona is telling the truth or not, which is kind of something interesting. Glad the way they did that way, that just because she's, sounds crazy and stuff, the way she says it, they're not just kind of throwing it down the drain and ignoring her and saying that she's crazy and stuff. I'm glad that they're actually looking into it. That made a lot more sense than just kind of not taking her word, not trusting her whatsoever. I think that was interesting. But we see her sneak in, and then the next scene we see that she's already found, then we see, like, Nate sees her sneak in, and then he opens the door, and she's already found all kinds of evidence that, everything's been hacked, and it's all his father type thing who's involved. And there was no digging into it. There was nothing. It was just too easy for them to find it. And then they find it, and later on we see Nate and Zari, they end up pickpocketing his phone and using a tablet to kind of download everything. They're doing it at this venue, and they're just doing it in plain sight. Like, how does he not go... How does he not up there? Hank is up there at the podium, not looking for his phone, and then go, not going down and realizing his phone is not there, and looking over and going, and then realizing that that's his phone. Nate stealing his phone. Like, it's just kind of so silly. They couldn't just pretend, I'm gonna go to the bathroom, type thing, and let's see what's going on. And then Nate could have been like, what's taking her so long? Let me go check, they go and they see that they're downloading stuff in the bathroom. It just would have made so much sense to do that, than to just download the phone in plain view, and you're supposed to be secretive about it. And it was just kind of silly the way they did that. And even the way she pickpocketed off of Hank, his mother, Nate's mother was right there. She didn't see her do that. Like, that was just kind of so silly. And then, he has the original video just straight up on his phone. Why would you have the damning evidence like that straight up on your phone type thing? There's no reason to do that. And first of all, who's going to go after him? He's in charge of the time bureau. So there's there's no one who's really going to go after him. Okay, I get that. So maybe he would have the video on there, but there's no reason in the first place to even keep it, for framing that person, you wouldn't want to keep the evidence that you're going to frame someone, That's just kind of silly. There's no reason to even keep it in the first place. So that was kind of silly. And then Nate, at the end of the episode, decides to kind of, he's going to frame his father and all that stuff. And that was kind of interesting. So to see where things are going to go with their relationship could be interesting. It's just the way things went down in this episode was entirely just garbage, and they didn't even put any effort into this episode whatsoever. The whole storyline with the Mexican wrestling and all that stuff, and the And the werewolf thing is just kind of silly, was kind of just stupid, especially at the end when they went back in time, when Ray brought the team back in time against Sarah's commands or controls or wishes and stuff. They go back in time and they have the werewolf have to fight again. They have to teach him to lose, which made no sense, is because why can't Ray just put on the costume that the werewolf was wearing, because it's about the same height as him, so they're both tall and skinny and stuff, so he could have put on the costume, make a fake costume to look like the werewolf, and Ray could have played it and just kind of, faked his way through it and actually get beat, lose type thing. That would have worked super easily, instead of trying to convince the werewolf to lose type thing, which was kind of a stupid idea, stupid storyline. And you got Constantine throughout this whole episode. He never does it. He never even makes a goddamn spell. I mean, like, oh my god, like, the whole time I'm just like, well, why can't Constantine just kind of cast a spell on the audience to see what he wants to see, cast a spell on the monster to on Lobo or Kane or whatever, Conan or something, and make him, lose, cast a spell on the other guy to make him, stronger, to be able to take on the this werewolf thing, so he could actually win. There's all kinds of things like that just never happened, and he just never used any of his magic, and it's like, we want to see him do his magic. That's the whole point of having Constantine on this show. So yeah, that was just kind of, that whole stuff was kind of terrible. But like I said, the ending stuff was kind of okay. I'm excited to see where things go with the rest of the season, like with Nate playing his father and kind of, looking into seeing as to what he's doing with the creatures and stuff. That's going to be interesting to see. Ava breaking up with Sarah just because she's like, yeah, so what? Hank Haywood is actually, experimenting on some of these monsters. They're just monsters. Then yeah, they're just monsters, That's the whole point. Isn't the whole point of this season to kind of go and pick out monsters throughout the history and stuff? So that's something going to be interesting to see as to where things go with their relationship and how they keep butting heads on different sides of the same of the coin. It's just trying to save people and she's trying to save monsters. And I think that's an interesting idea to see as to where things go with that, and to what point. Are they going to have to, how are they going to come to an interesting conclusion? Could be something interesting, conclusion together. Could be quite interesting to see as to where things go with this show. So I think it's going to be interesting to see as to where the relationship goes. And then at the end of the episode, Mona ends up turning into a monster because she got scratched, which makes sense. She got scratched and stuff. Yeah, she'll turn into a werewolf and all that stuff, but it's like, oh my god, it's the stupidest thing ever. She looks terrible. The makeup that they've done doesn't even look as good as the actual monster who scratched her, so it just looks like god awful. It's just so bad. The makeup is just terrible. So yeah, this show is just kind of extremely, just this episode is just garbage, complete utter dog shit, pretty much. Yeah, I'm excited to see as to where the season goes, but this episode, and they just need to kill off Mona real fast, because she's just goddamn well annoying. Yeah, so let me know what you think, guys, about this episode in the comments below. I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out.
I'm Captain America, here to talk to you about one of the most valuable traits a soldier or student can have.
Subscribing.
Sometimes subscribing is the key to victory. Sometimes it leads to very little, and it seems like it's not worth it. And you wonder why you waited so long for something so disappointing. How many more of these?
You're still here.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, guys. Peace.
It's over.